Hey, what's going on? It's Troy coming at you from thenaturalcouple.com, and today I'm going to be covering a couple of my favorite foods that help fight inflammation. So if you currently have high levels of inflammation in your body, or if you currently have chronic levels of inflammation in your body, then listen up because this is going to be a great video resource for you. So number one on my list, any kind of oily fish. So think salmon or mackerel or tuna fish. Okay, very important because these are all foods that are very potent in omega-3 fatty acids. And omega-3 fatty acids are important because they're anti-inflammatory by nature. Now, a couple things to consider. Number one, if you don't like salmon, if you don't like fish, if you don't like being around it, you don't like smelling it, I get it, I understand. But make sure, if that's the case, if that's you, make sure that you wind up supplementing with a high-quality omega-3 supplement in capsule form. That's number one. Number two, if you do like eating fish, the next time you wind up going down to your grocery store to get some, make sure you only purchase the wild-caught variety. Very, very important. So get wild-caught salmon or wild-caught tuna fish, for example. Don't get the farm-raised. They're all chock full of antibiotics. And the third thing is, make sure you cook it the right way. Make sure that you bake it or broil it or grill it. For goodness sakes, don't salt it and don't fry it, of course. Second thing on my list, dark leafy greens are great inflammation-fighting foods. So think spinach, kale, broccoli, collard greens, for example. These foods are very high in vitamin E. Vitamin E, like omega-3s, are very anti-inflammatory by nature. Vitamin E actually is very special because it actually targets a specific inflammatory molecule in your body called cytokines. It actually helps your body flush out these pro-inflammatory molecules. Very, very cool. On top of that, dark leafy greens also very high in calcium, also very high in iron. Number three on my list, almonds. You know, I love almonds. They're very versatile. You can take them with you wherever you want. You can put them in a bag. They're a great snack food. Of course, don't get the salted variety. You want just the plain, raw kind of almond. Again, very high in fiber, very high in calcium, great concentrations of vitamin E, and they're extremely high in antioxidants. So antioxidants, of course, are very anti-inflammatory by nature. That's why almonds make our list. The fourth thing, I'm going to kind of cheat here. The fourth food is actually a bunch of foods, but they all have one thing in common. So tomatoes, red carrots, watermelon, papaya, and pink grapefruit. Very, very important foods because they all have lycopene. Now, you may have heard of lycopene. Many people relate lycopene with tomatoes. That's perfectly okay, but lycopene is found in all of these foods, and that's why I've included them here on my list. Lycopene is important because it definitely is an inflammation-fighting compound. It helps inflammation throughout your entire body, especially your lungs. Very, very important. And the last thing on my list is ginger. Now, of course, you know, we've probably, at one point or another when we were little, we were probably introduced to ginger in the form of ginger ale, right? We were probably sick as a kid, or we had an upset stomach, and our parents probably provided us with a can of ginger ale to help ease our stomach, or, you know, to help calm our stomach, right? But, you know, ginger is especially great at fighting inflammation, and it specifically targets inflammation around your gut and your intestines. Very, very important. To put this into perspective, you know, when you currently eat food, 3/4 of your immune system actually comes into physical contact with that food. So guess what? If you're eating high levels or high concentrations of sugar or carbohydrates, for example, or processed foods or manufactured foods, right? All the stuff that we know isn't really good for us anyways. 3/4 of your immune system is actually physically coming in contact with that. And if you're eating a lot of sugar and a lot of processed food, that can be a good reason why you can develop inflammation in your intestine. So ginger actually does the opposite. It actually calms your intestines, calms your gut, and helps lessen inflammation in your gut and your digestive tract. Very, very important and very, very powerful. Now, what I want you to do right this very second is to click the link below to download our instant video training, which is going to give you instant access to the top 3 foods, our very top 3 foods that can help you start lowering inflammation as early as today. How cool is that? So I'll see you over there. Click the link right now.